It's going to be a select crowd today, so let's jump in. So I talked this over with Sally, and we've been speaking about warranties for a while. And since we now have BCP partners in our group that we're discussing, I believe it's 210 and Home Warranty of America. I talked to Sally about an opportunity to speak to anyone interested about, you know, what these warranties are, what they're not. I am not an expert in these warranties, but I have purchased countless dozens of them over the past few years. I have them on two properties that I own, one being my primary home and one being my childhood home, which is an investment. And I have purchased countless of these warranties for my clients in various shapes and forms, from the sell side and the buy side. So I thought there might be something to talk about and people could ask questions and understand how they work. So let's, again, these are just my experiences and my opinions only. There's not, it's not a technical app to learn. So let's discuss the various options that there are and what they are and what they're not. So there are various warranties that are available to consumers, and I see them falling into a couple of main categories. Number one is the utility-based warranty, like Public Service Worry-Free. So anyone who has looked downstairs in a basement at a water heater probably has seen the PSE&G Worry-Free sticker on it. Mm-hmm. And that is a comprehensive warranty package offered by the utility, and it comes in several flavors. One of the flavors is fix and repair, and they offer an option for replacement also. I have some current experience with clients with that particular package. The
with
other
PSE&G.
PSE&G.
Okay.
I don't know if JCP&L offers their own or Con Ed has their own, but PSE&G is being that they're the preeminent utility in our area, they're everywhere. Mm-hmm. The other type of coverage that I'm going to be discussing today, and we have exactly until 3 o'clock. There's a hard cutoff on that, so I'll tailor this around that. The other type is a whole house warranty, and that's the type of warranty that's offered by outfits like American Home Shield, HMS, Home Warranty of America, Choice One. There are lots and lots of them. My experience is that they are tremendously misunderstood. If you go online and Google them, you will see all sorts of positive and negative opinions on them. Mm-hmm. They're easily misunderstood as far as what they are and what they're not, which is why I thought this might be a valuable discussion to have. I've had, and I'm not looking to pitch any particular vendor. I have experience with two in particular, one much more than the other. And there's ways of working with them. On the consumer side, it's important to note that they are not emergency service coverage. In other words, if what you really want is you want a company in the heating business to be able to run over to your house on 5 minutes notice if there's a problem when it's 5 degrees, this is not the coverage that you want.
Well, that's when the furnace always breaks, right? In the middle of the night.
That's correct. So if you want that, and I tell this to all my clients, you need to get an emergency contract with one of the major players, whoever that happens to be in the area. It might be Venata, or it might be Martin Masters, or it might be Reiner, or one of these guys, Generation 3. Then you have to have that kind of coverage. That is not what these are. Mm-hmm. Jumping over to the PSE&G, you can pick that up for a few dollars a month. It gets put on the utility bill, and they have various response times and so forth on that. You can pick up a package in the kitchen, and the kitchen package might be refrigerator, dishwasher, and that's maybe $13 a month. And then you pick up washer dryer, and that's another few, and it's few dollars. And all together, when you put together the kitchen and the laundry and the furnace and the air conditioning system, you might get away with, I just purchased one for a client, and it was roughly $60 a month for most major systems in the house, like the ones
Larry, when you say you purchase for a client, that means you have a buyer, you close on a house, you're giving them as a gift this policy,
Yes,
and and it's not coming from the seller. You're representing the buyer.
correct. Now, sometimes it is coming from the seller. So that's something that I was going to get into a little bit later. So I
Okay.
look at it multiple ways. I'm a consumer of this product. I believe in it. I work with buyers, and I sometimes use it as a gift or settlement.
Mm-hmm.
I have used it to hold deals together. I recommend it to all of my listers, in which case I put a rider on the sign and I advertise that it's on there, and I put the language into the listing. I think it's important. I was hoping to get some new agents on this call and tell them that their competition out there is offering it in many cases as part of their listing deal.
Yep.
Even the 3% for 3 months guy out there is offering a warranty on every single listing, no questions asked. So if you're going up against people, they have to know that these things are out there.
Yeah. So like, talk to me about that. That's I mean, I don't think there's anybody else on this call, so I hope that's okay. If you have a listing, you're going to put it up and offer that out. What is it? How are you marketing it?
I typically, my approach with my seller depends on, I mean, it all comes down to money. It's not inexpensive. Will I offer it that I'm going to cover it? I don't come out of the gate offering that. What I recommend is that, similar to the other things that we offer as a listing broker, I recommend that the seller put this on the house. If I get any pushback and I think it's really critical, I may offer to split it at the closing, whatever it is. We're talking about a few $100s. You're going to put up a modest house and make $10,000. I don't think that's a big concession, but I think it's invaluable, especially if you're selling a house that has old systems. So I do one of two things.
The one that you just marketed, that you had the rider, which is actually kind of neat. Who provided you with that rider?
I've been working with HWA for years, and I have a garage full of those orange riders.
Okay, so you put it on the listing.
I used to stock them in the office in Ridgewood and just have them there for people so they know they can go to that agent. And we have a special reseller rep, Crystal. And whenever I call them up for something, they send me boxes of literature and these riders.
So
I've got a garage full.
How much does that cost?
With the package?
Yeah.
Roughly between $500,000 and $700.
And do they come in and inspect the stuff first?
They do not. It's a very unusual business. There's no pre-inspection. They come in, they take your word for it. You put it on, you got to be careful. What I like about the coverage, and they're all a little bit different, but a lot of them speak the same. When you put it on a listing, it protects the seller from the day you put it on throughout the entire listing. So if anything breaks while they're living there, it's covered. And then it transfers, speaking about the orange guys only, it transfers over to the buyers at closing.
For 1 year?
13 months.
For how long?
13 months.
Wow.
So a little over a year.
Okay.
And I make a big deal. Naturally, my landscapers are here now that I need to Zoom and I need to close up the windows. It's going to get noisy.
Okay.
But I recommend it and I talk it up. And my experience has been is that it will put buyers at ease because they don't have that fear that something's going to break the day after they buy the house.
Right. No, I love it. I love the idea. So let me just
So,
ask you, so now
my
you
first
fast,
thing is that I get the sellers to pay for it, and you have to be careful in the MLS. And again, I was hoping to get some new agents out there who, don't have the experience. You got to put in there that the seller's offering it. Because
right,
this falls under the same category as holding a raffle at an open house, can't be from me. So the
right.
agents have to know they have to be careful. And it says, seller including whole house warranty at closing. So
Okay,
you
so now,
make a big deal, you put up the rider, people drive by, they see it, they ask about it, what is it? Well, the whole house is covered. And it's everything from air conditioning, heating, plumbing, doorbells, garage door openers, some roof issues, some pumps, water heaters. If they have a pool, you can put pool equipment on there, all sorts of things.
so now you have that in play. The inspector comes in and he's like, oh, there's a leak in the furnace. It's not operating right. That's it? It gets covered?
Yes,
Do they try to repair until it's not repairable?
yes,
And then they replace?
yes.
And do you know what the deductible is?
It's typically depending on the package you buy, and I can share the screen with the link that shows you the various packages. If you buy one of the upper packages, the service fee is either $75 or $100 each visit. And that's it.
Okay. That's awesome.
Most people don't know about it. I recommend it to people all the time. It is also tricky. If you're not familiar with contractors and you are not willing to jump in the deep end of the pool with both feet, this is not an easy thing to do. I've had people have it for a year and then quit it because there's some battling and jousting that goes on with this, and I wouldn't kid anybody. The other thing is you cannot then have them call your favorite AC person to come in and fix it. It's much like the thing going on with doctors and healthcare. Not all the doctors like the healthcare deal, and not all the doctors are going to accept what the insurance company's paying, so not everybody plays. And that has to be understood, and I explain that clearly to people. However, when I'm on the listing side and I'm offering it to buyers who are going to buy the house, then I don't have any ethical boundaries to discuss it. We're putting something of value on the house, and what they do with it, they do with it.
So can you just speak to the comment about it's a battle? What does that mean? Like, what? Give me a for instance.
Well, number one, it's insurance.
Mm-hmm.
It's the kind of insurance that you want to spend. I've had countless things repaired in my home. Some of them go easy and some of them don't go so easy. They don't have to respond for a couple of days. Sometimes you're dealing with the contractor they choose. I don't know where their call center is. And this is the reality. I'm sharing this with people open. This is kimonos open because I've done this lots. And I've had a lot of good experience, but also some battles. So I'm telling the agents this, wide open.
Right.
I've had them fix my refrigerator. I've had them fix the dishwasher, washing machine, sump pumps, heating zone valves. Hang on, they're going to get noisy. Hold on. Hey, you, be careful, be quiet. Okay, sorry, it's going to get noisy and Ted is going to bark at them, so I can't have that. So, sometimes
So when you're putting in
they
this,
don't go easy.
when you put in this claim, now you know, you have a rep that you're buying these policies from. Is he your point of contact, or now
No,
he's out of
no,
it?
no. We have this lady, Crystal, and I've never met her. Sometimes she gets involved, sometimes she doesn't. I try to leverage her and I try to, do what I can, because again, I've had these policies on my homes for years personally. And
Right.
if they look up because there's a homeowner section and there's a realtor section. And if they look up the realtor section, they'll see how many dozens of these I have purchased. So once in a while, I get in their face and say, listen, I do a lot of business for you guys, countless thousands of dollars.
Right.
And I sell them religiously all the time. But once in a while, there's a battle. I mean, that's just open and honest. When I call them up and I talk to them about details on the heating system, because I've been in the systems business a long time. So when I'm talking to them about the heating system, I know plenty of stuff that person on the phone doesn't know. And I call them up and I've had to prove to them, for example, that the part that's broken is covered, because they're looking it up on a sheet and saying, I don't see it. And then I got to do my thing. So again, and then that's part of what I tell them. So there's part of what I was looking to discuss today was the consumer side and then the real estate side, because I've had tremendous success as a listing agent putting these things on the house and using it as a tool.
Yeah, I think that's great value, actually. I think considering that everybody's just slapping their houses up on the market right now to try to get the most money, that could be valuable. And
that's correct. So there's really two ways to go about it. I see Tara is trying to connect. So there's two ways to go about it on the listing side. If I'm successful in convincing them to put it on the house and market it, that's one thing. And then we offer it as a value add. You're going to be covered as soon as you buy the house. It gets transferred to you at the seller's cost. If I reimburse them, it doesn't matter, but at the closing table, it gets taken care of.
Right.
The other thing that I've done, and I can talk about this for an hour, is sometimes if they don't choose to put it on, I hold it back and I keep it in my pocket. So I consider it a business tool. So for example, I've had houses that I've sold as the lister where they come through on an old house and they come up with a laundry list of things that the buyer wants. And a lot of it is the furnace is 80 years old and it's limping by, and old air and old this and old that, and the dishwasher and original appliances. And you know what happens, the buyers want everything. So what I've done and what I recommend the agents get good at is keeping this in your pocket and throwing it out as an alternative.
To keep the deal together.
Keep the deal together and to save the sellers thousands. And I can talk about 1, 2, 3, countless examples where we've done this. I've just done it recently in the last month. So the buyer comes back with a laundry list from the attorney and they want thousands in credits. You know what happens. The list is this long and I want this replace or credit, replace, all these, and the seller is going crazy.
I have to call you. I have to drop off. My son just got into a car accident.
Sorry to hear that. What do we have? Do we have Tara? Might have Tara. I got pictures of people I can't see you, so I can't tell who's here. And I have a picture of Reese and I can't tell if she's really there. So I'm talking to myself. We're going to take a pause while our networks identify themselves.